Welcome to
Neapolitan
Scoop Podcast.
My name is Steph.
My name is Shay.
And my name is Rose. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is our 10th episode of the Neapolitan Scoop Podcast. Remember, get your weekly scoop here with us. If you have not subscribed, come on, we're 10 episodes in. What are you waiting for? Go subscribe right now. Today's topic is very interesting. It's about people who don't support you, but support others.
All right. Very good topic. Let's hop right into these questions. So,
grab y'all bottles.
Huh?
Hey, grab y'all bottles because it's about to get deep.
Got my coffee.
I'm drinking hot chocolate. The whole bottle.
All right. So, how does it make you feel when your friends and family support others, their small businesses, their endeavors, and other things, but not so much when it comes to you? How does it make you feel?
Who wants to go first?
I can start off. I think, I don't know. I think that makes me feel some type of way. Because it's like, I see you over there liking other people's stuff. People you don't even know, but I'm over here telling you, come join us and come subscribe and like. And, it takes you 10 minutes to watch one of these episodes or, our episodes sometimes are a little longer, but 10 minutes is all I need you to watch and just kind of like and get out. Like it doesn't take too long. And I don't know. I think it makes me feel some type of way when I see them, liking other people's small businesses or other people's. And then to me, it's like, are you not taking me seriously? Is it that you don't think this is real or what is it?
Yeah. I think for me, it's the same too. I definitely will feel away because I know it's been plenty of times. And I know me, I'm like a serial, I won't say entrepreneur. Well, in a sense, yeah. But I start a lot of different projects, a lot of different businesses. So I'm currently always trying to see what I can do, So granted, having to start all these different things and be like, hey, support this, support that. I feel like obviously if it's something that you can support monetarily, cool. So, do so. But if it's something when we talk about just share, comment,
Right.
Those are three of the easiest things that people can do that does not cost them anything but maybe 10 seconds of their time. And it's the easiest stuff people don't want to do. And I think that's what's frustrating to me because it's I can understand if I was asking you to spend hundreds of dollars to support my product financially or whatever it is. But I'm just asking for something simple that does not require any of your financial capabilities and people still won't do it. And then you'll see them sharing other people's posts, people who they have other friends and stuff. And that's very frustrating because it's you considered me your friend. Then why not support me to that same extent? Even if it is you having to do it for 3 different businesses that I started. Just share, and comment. It's something.
Yeah.
It's a push of a button.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree with both of you. It's the simple things that people act like they can't do for family, but they can't do for others. And I've been trying, I'm a very analytical person. So I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt. Mm-hmm. So I sometimes, be like, okay, well, maybe they didn't see it. Maybe, whatever. But the more I analyze it, the more I realize that it could be two things. It could be the fact that maybe they're upset because they didn't think of it and you thought of it. And it's different when it comes from a stranger because I don't know why, but I don't know if people take it personal when it comes from somebody that they know personally. It's well, how did you think of it? And I didn't think of it. Or maybe they want to do it and it's well, I didn't think of it, but you thought of it now. So now I can't do it. So now I don't want to. Jealousy is one hell of a drug. I swear it is.
If I'm doing it, you can do it. So just do it.
And that's one thing that I always tell people. I'm you can learn from other people. You can learn from other people. Just say, hey, I like what you're doing.
Right.
How can you on it? Don't be in the shadows just looking oh, she did it first, so now I can't do it. It's just amazing what you can do when you just come together. You can make a bigger platform. And it could be that.
It's because they can't do it, so they won't support you because you are doing it.
They don't want you to.
They don't want you to be successful, or so, I don't know. Maybe it's like,
I think that my friends are that way because I'm not.
I don't think of that either. I don't. You know what? And it may not be your immediate friends. Maybe it could be like those like little, the ones that are kind of like in the background that you don't really communicate with every day or something. They may think like that. Hopefully, your immediate friends don't think like that. But you'd be naive to think that nobody's out here just jealous of what you're accomplishing, and then they're not. So I think people can be very jealous.
I don't even think it's jealousy because, like what you're doing may be something that they're not even interested in.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you're doing it, it's like, it takes a lot to do something and to actually put it into action. Like you can talk about it all day, but actually putting it into action takes work. Like it takes work for us to get on here every week and record and adjust our schedules and think of topics and all of this. Like that takes time, like advertising, all of that takes time. So I don't think so much as in, oh, you're doing something that I want to do. It's more so like, oh, you're doing something and you're taking the initiative. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, have you ever noticed that sometimes people see you get to where you are in life, but they don't realize what it took to get there?
Yeah, they see the end result or like whatever, happened, the outcome, but they don't see all the process.
Right. So I think people are afraid of the process. And when you actually do the process, they're like, whoa, she actually did it. He actually. And then it comes into the challenge. And if you're someone who is like, if they're a person who doesn't like to be challenged, they're just looking like, well, I don't even have the time or the effort to put into that, but I like what they're doing. Yeah. So
why not support it? If you like what we're doing, if you like how we're, again, to me, it's always like, I encourage some people, hey, start your YouTube, start a podcast. You're very interesting. Do this, do that. But a lot of people are just like, oh, well, that's going to take too long, blah, blah, blah. Even the podcast idea, I had thought about doing it with another group of people for a while, but they didn't want to do it. And I was like, okay, well, I still had it in the back of my head where I was like, I want to start some kind of podcast. I want to do something. Because I think it's very interesting, the stuff that we have to say. And then when I met you guys and I kind of brought the idea, you were like, let's do it. Let's do it. I was like, here we go. We're gonna do the damn thing. But I think it's just like you said, like I try to encourage everybody, hey, do what you have to do. Do it. What's the worst thing that can happen? For us, we always say we started the podcast as kind of like a de-stressor, kind of just for us to put it out there, So I think we all have it in the back of our minds where it's like we're just de-stressing here.
Yeah, I think
from it either way. Like if it gets to wherever it needs to get to, wherever it gets there. But at the end of the day, it's something that helps us out. We de-stress. We spend time together. So that's so yeah. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Shay.
You had mentioned something about how something about they might not be interested in it. So I find that I had a conversation with somebody and it was like, oh, well, why would I follow when I'm not interested? I may not be interested in a topic that you'll talk about. And I'm like, you never know what topics we can come up with. We're on episode 10 now. So we have 10 different versions of topics that somehow you probably could have related to one out of the 10. Like, let's be honest. So don't not follow because you think that it's not going to be something that you like. You really never know. And I think especially speaking to people who know how algorithms work these days, nothing is just based off of when you post it. Everything is based off of how the algorithm works, how people engage with your content, who likes it, and all the other kind of stuff. So that's why it's so important to like, share, and comment people's content because it works for the algorithm. It helps boost us in Instagram and even in Facebook. People are getting paid for content. And I feel like when people are saying, well, I don't want to support you, I feel like you don't want me to get paid one day because my content could be on that algorithm. And you're like, well, no, I'm not going to do it because of whatever your reasons are. But even then, follow. We might not even show up on your timeline because if you don't engage, cool, whatever, I get it. But still follow, still like it, still comment, still share it, And you never know what topics we come up with that you actually might like, but don't just push us to the back and say, well, I don't want to support you because of this, that, and that, when your reasons could really be invalid.
Right. Or even if you don't like the topics, hey, give us some topics that you would like to hear. And maybe we'll bring you on here so you can talk about the topic and be that kind of expert in the topic, But I think when you just kind of say, oh, well, I'm not going to do that because that's not something I'm interested in. It's like, Like, come
Yeah, especially coming from other entrepreneurs. Again, just to speak about the algorithm, like, if you had a business, what you would want people to do. If you were a public figure, what's required in that to stay in that zone or that space. So it's like, why not give that same understanding to another entrepreneur, somebody who's trying to build a foundation of something? You know what it takes. So do I, but you don't want to support it.
Now, I will say this, because, I'm always playing devil's advocate. I will say this. But when it comes to social media, I can't really play devil's advocate because social media is strictly just a push of a button. Yeah. But I will say that I'm the type of person that I will follow, but I won't always reshare. Simply because half the time my kids have my phone, half the time I'm juggling 10,000 things. But I am that person that will tell other people. I'm the word of mouth type of person. Like for instance, Fishay has her Airbnb business. I would definitely promote her Airbnb and say, hey, if somebody's looking for Airbnb, my friend has an Airbnb. How many bedrooms are you looking for? Blah, blah, blah. And I'll refer them to her. Even with, the whole wedding preparation, I told her, I said, just send over your Airbnb information. I'll put it on the webpage. The same with my sister. She has a braiding business. Like, if people want to get their hair braided, I'm like, hey, go get your hair braided, blah, blah, blah. I'm more of the person who will speak your name when you're not present and spreading the word than I am the person I'm a share if I see it come across my page. Sometimes I see things and I don't like them, not because I don't like them, but almost because I forgot. For example, like Shay, I think I saw the picture that you posted of your baby. And then I think I even responded and said happy birthday, or I said something. Oh. I just get overly excited that I'll be like sending the message and then I forget to like. So it's just like, it's little stuff like that. So that's why I be playing devil's advocate. But at the same time, like you said, if you have somebody that you see liking other people's stuff, it's like your little trigger finger ain't broke. You're just choosing trigger, So because you're not gonna see me just going out here and liking or commenting, because I be seeing Shay a lot of times in the comments. Shay is a comments person.
I'm a more of like a liker. I don't really comment stuff. I'm not the one to.
Rose is more of a liker. Shay is more of a commenter.
I'm a commenter and a sharer.
No, I just go and like people's stuff. I'm like,
like, for example, if I see something, I'll share it to y'all's individual inboxes.
Yeah.
Stop, mama. Anyway. Oh.
So.
Okay, sorry, my computer went off because my mama decided to call me right now. But everybody has different styles. Like, everybody is not social media savvy. But I mean, you could feel the vibes when it comes to friends. But I wouldn't persecute them immediately just because they didn't like something. Only because now it was once upon a time when I didn't have all of these responsibilities that I was that type of person that was on social media all the time, liking stuff and sharing stuff. But again, you would probably see me liking stuff and sharing stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure that when y'all on social media, y'all may see a thing or here that I may have liked, and it's probably somebody on the Shade Room or ABC 13.
How can you? I don't even know how to see when people like stuff.
But like sometimes you don't see it, but sometimes like when you're scrolling, it'll see such and such like this picture, and it'll be like.
But I don't even be tripping off that. I mean, I get it. People gonna like and all this random stuff. I'm talking about the stuff I'm specifically asking you to share for my business. I don't care about ABC 13. Cool, comments, tell your opinion. They ain't got nothing to do with me. But when it comes down to something that's important, that I think will help me, benefit me, move me along, that's what I care about. You can like whoever you want to like. I don't care. But when it comes to my personal content, that's what I care about. When I'm asking you to share my advertisement, when I'm asking you to reshare, my new episode that's coming up. You can share everything 13 shit all you want to, but share mine.
Call me racist and ignorant.
Call me racist and ignorant if you want to, but share my shit.
You know you want me to be. Just press that share.
Yeah. All right, hold on. So let's get to the next question. We won't stay stuck on that one. Let's see.
On the drive, because I need to pull out my outro.
So we talked about what support looks like. So basically, like, like and share and comment, words of encouragement, or advice maybe.
That's important though. Words of encouragement. Sometimes it's, man, you know, like Steph said, not everybody's support looks the same. But
Right.
sometimes just hearing somebody say, "Hey, I heard your episode," or "Hey, I listened in and this is so good.
Right.
Hey, I can relate to this. Hey, I can," you know, I had a friend that our first episode, he's like, "Girl, I'm tuning in right now." He's like, "I'm listening to your episode. Y'all are too funny. Y'all are hilarious." I was like, "That's awesome." He's like, "Keep on doing what you guys are doing. I'm going to keep listening to your episodes." And I was like, "You don't know how good that feels to hear that." Because sometimes we sit here like, I was like, believe me, sometimes we're sick. Sometimes we don't feel like recording, but we all take, like Steph said, the time out of our schedules to sit here and maybe put some makeup on, do our hair, do something, you know, drink a whole bottle of wine.
Yep.
Just to put it together and get it done. Yes. I think it's cool that y'all have had some people come to y'all and say, "Hey, I've watched your video," or "Hey, this, that, and the other." I haven't had that. So I don't know if it's like people not watching or if they're watching and not saying they're watching, but I haven't heard nobody say, "Hey, I watched your episode on this. I thought it was really good." I haven't had no feedback yet.
Yeah.
And you do have those people that just watch and don't say nothing. But to put that out there, like Rose said, it does feel good when people say, "Hey, I saw your episode." Shout out to the two people who have told me that, which is Nisha and Arthur. Arthur told me, he messaged me the other day. He was like, "I've been watching." And I was like, "Okay, somebody's you." She stopped me in the middle of, you know, leaving work, and she was like, "I've been watching your episode, your podcast." And I was like, "Oh, feel all famous and stuff." So it's definitely feeling, because at the end of the day, when we're back here, we don't see the likes, we don't see the views. Like, we're thinking people aren't watching, people aren't very interested. Although that ain't gonna knock us, because we're gonna.
I see the analytics behind this stuff, and I can see people that are watching, and I can see how many people are logging on there but are not liking it. So for those of you who are watching and not liking, guys, just like it. It takes 2 minutes for you to just like the video.
We know you're there.
Thank you for listening, but just like the episode. I mean, you're there already. You're taking the time out of your day, so just like the episode.
Right.
But yeah. But go ahead, next question. Because we, like you said, we go.
Why do you think people show other support, but they won't show their support to their family and friends?
Oh.
What's behind that?
When you say others, do you mean like, okay, I'm not even gonna look, Steph, don't stop playing devil's advocate. I was about to say, do you like family members? Do you feel me like friends, close friends? It don't matter, because if you know me, you know me. But repeat the question. Let me make sure it's clear.
Why do you think that people will show others support, but not their family and friends?
I think it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like, people, like, have you ever heard the saying, people like you as long as you're, you know, like, as long as y'all are doing good, but when you're doing better than them, it's like, that's a different story.
Yep.
I think a lot of people sometimes feel that way. It's like, we're cool. It almost goes back to the episode that we just had about friends. It's like, oh, we were good friends until I started doing other things, and you know,
story.
Oh, you always got a story, girl. Political, and I'm like, but yes. So I think it goes back to that, and that's when it comes to friends. And here's another one: when it comes to family, what I've been noticing is generational curses. When you have someone who is in the family that is generational curses, they're damn near cursed. Because now everybody feels a certain type of way, because nobody has done this for generations and generations. But now you're here doing it. And it's like, oh, who do you think you are to...
Right. You think you better than us?
Yeah, it's that type of situation. And I mean, it's real. It's definitely real. Like, some people think you're just supposed to stay the same. And if we stay the same, we'll never experience change. I mean, think about 1800s, 1700s. If we were still doing the same thing, we'll be out here riding horses and shit for, like, on the freeway, you know? So it's like, yeah, I think that's what it goes to. But go ahead with your story, girl, because I want to hear it.
So there was this post that I had run across that was like, when was the first time you realized that your friend did not like you? It was something like that. And so I thought about maybe two times I came across a situation with some people who I considered friends, and you realize like how much they fuck with you or whatever. And so speaking of like how you said breaking generational curses, people think you're doing better than them because you're different. And so I remember this one time when this is one of my college friends, you know how you have your college friends. And she was somebody who I hung out with all the time. Like in college, we were very cool, you know what I'm saying? Then we got older, out of school, we still hung out. So one time I got my first, one of my first credit cards, right? And I was like, hey, you want to go to the mall or whatever? I had my baby. She was probably like a year, maybe under. And so she was like, yeah, I'll come to the mall with you or whatever. And so we walking around or whatever. And I just started, I'm wanting to shop at this point because I got my little card or whatever. I want to go shop. So I don't buy much. I just go into the store, probably get a couple things. And so she was like, she saw how I was paying for my stuff. And she was like, oh, you got your little Amex. First of all, why does it have to be a little Amex? Is it because you don't have a little Amex? So mine's got to be little? Why does it have to be little? Because you came.
First of all, for you to get an Amex, you have to have really good credit, ma'am. So it's
a little Amex. And when she said that, I didn't really think about it. I'm just like, okay. But then after the fact, fast forward, I realized our friendship was kind of like deteriorating over time. Mm-hmm. It came to be like, you know, she was somebody who I hung out with, so we hung out less and less and less. And it's not that I tried to push her to the back. You know, I always reach out to my friends and say, hey, we haven't hung out in a while. I really miss you. Just want to let you know I was thinking about you. We should hang out more, you know. But then it comes to the point where like when she goes out, she doesn't invite me, whatever the case may be. I'm like, okay, well, maybe she just don't fuck with me like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like that, but people can see you doing something or having something that they don't have, and they immediately like down you for it, or that they don't like you for it, or they think you're better because you have certain things. You know, I didn't come there to throw my Amex in your face. I came there because I wanted to go to the mall with my friend, and I just happened to want to buy some shit. Yeah. But my little Amex made you mad.
Now, I am the friend that will fuck with you if you just got a new, like, I'm not gonna say a new credit card, a new anything. Like, I'll be the one to be like, oh, look and see, it's over there, just, you know, filling up the bag.
That's different.
Pulling out her card. I'm not gonna call it Lil because clearly it's bigger than mine. Lil, but I would definitely be the. I'm very like I'm a shit talker. I talk shit a lot, but it's all love. It's never hate at all. It'd be like, okay, yeah, like this, you doing this shit out here. You're like, I love it.
I think that's different, and you could tell when it comes from
exactly
somebody that's like messing with you, like, oh, okay, now we big money. Then somebody that's like, oh, you got a little Amex, like,
and that's exactly how it was said, just like that with shade.
Yes, it's very different. Like you could tell when it comes, because I have people that fuck with me too, like, you know, like that, like, oh, we big money now because we doing this. No, we're not big money, because big money comes with big fucking problems too, and big bills.
And that's what people feel to, like, just because like you don't have the same problems you had when you were broke. When you start getting a little bit more money, like you start getting more money, more problems. So people can realize. And back to what you were saying, Shay, like I've had situations like that also where and like you said, and I think this is the key factor in it, is you said that y'all's relationship started deteriorating. Mm-hmm. So you right there is number one sign, because if there was nothing to what that individual said, I'm not gonna say she because I don't know if it's a she, but if there was nothing to what that individual said, then y'all's relationship would have continued on the way it should have been. You know, y'all still would have been friends. But I've had situations like that. And where friends are like, they make little comments, and it's sometimes you let it slide like the first time, then they make it again, and then you start noticing the shade, and it's, what is that? You sit there, you're like, what is that supposed to mean? Like I've had friends say, oh, you know, well, everybody ain't balling like you. Who told you I was balling? You know, like
I can make broke look real good.
Right? Shoot, I'm like, I'm sorry. I mean, maybe I just know how to manage my money. I don't know.
Right?
I don't know.
Girl.
People don't understand.
Telling my wife that the other day, I'm looking at last year's income tax, and then I'm looking at my last check, and I'm like, there is plenty more money, but I don't see any of that. I was like,
Yeah.
where's that raise? Where's that money? Because I was like, I don't see it. I was like, so obviously we're doing a little better this year than we were last year, but where's the money? I was like, because all I see are bills.
Unless you're making over $100,000, 150, that's the only way you really gonna see what you bring home.
Not
Other
even
than that, everything.
Because
if you spend
like the only way it's gonna work is if you make $150,000, but you're still spending money like you was making 80.
Yeah.
Yep.
You make $150,000 and you level up,
you making up that debt, yeah.
You ain't gonna get nowhere. Like, and that's the natural mentality is like, oh, I make more money, so now I can add more bills. No, keep them same bills. Yeah. But money is another episode for another time, so we're not gonna start talking about it. Yeah. So you gotta watch next episode on money management.
Yeah, because we were talking about that, and we're like, our combined income is good. It is good income. Like we're up there, and I was like, what? Where's all this money? But then we're like, yeah, we got to pay a car. We're paying a house. We're paying all the utility bills. We're paying, somebody to come in and landscape our. We're like, it's just we like eating out. We like traveling. So.
That's why we came back.
You are chewing my pockets up. Oh Lord. I be saying they're eating out. Oh my.
Yeah. All I see on my card statement is Lapa Lapa.
Today. Oh my God, that's funny.
I'm like, this is just food. And that and aromas. Just all down my damn card statement.
First of all, I'm going to
Bath and Body Works.
But there's this place actually in Midtown called Palapas, and that's what I was thinking about. But
no.
I'm not going to La Palapa on no Saturday.
They're not even open.
They're
so
not
open. Don't waste your gas. You're gonna be bad.
No, I'm going to Palapas. If you want to come, you can come. Yeah, well, y'all can come.
To what?
Palapas. Have you ever been to Palapas? Oh. No? Oh, girl, it's cute. That's where I went to for my birthday brunch. It's really cute.
That's where you're going today?
Mm-hmm. For my sister's birthday.
I might pull up because I ain't got no kids. Hey. And my hair's still done.
Mine ain't, but I'll do something, girl. So we want to thank you for tuning into our podcast. Again, if you enjoyed our content, please subscribe to our channel, like and comment. We just talked about that. Like and comment. Don't take nothing.
And share.
We love feedback. So please give feedback. Tell us if there's something you'd like us to talk about, something that you didn't like. I mean, we ain't gonna necessarily change it, but we might consider it. While you're at it, go follow us on all streaming platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, Pandora, whatever your podcast preference is. Go to it and follow us. I'm sure we're there. You can also find us through Instagram and TikTok. Also, if you have a topic that you would like for us to discuss, or if you'd like to be a guest, please come join us. We like everybody's opinion. We're not those people that are going to be like, oh, you have to agree with me. No, you don't. We actually prefer that you not agree with us because you might introduce us to something new. Again, thank you.
Like to argue.
Yes, you do.
We all like to argue to a certain extent. The Neapolitan Scoop, because we all like to argue. So, I mean, but we argue respectably. Like, I'm going to respect your opinion. You're going to respect mine. So, again, we're going to also respect y'all's opinion. So, again, thank you. And see you all next for your weekly scoop survey. Hey.
Bye.
Bye.